Yep, on.
Nice touch.
Might be in. Yeah, nice.
Nice, good job.
Clang.
Nice. Nice shot.
Nice shot.
Good job.
Thanks.
Oh, I got this.
Wait,
This is my moment.
Go for it.
No! There's a common phase we all go through in Rocket League. I like to call it the I can do anything phase. It's the shortest phase you'll probably go through, and you'll probably go through it multiple times until you realize that you cannot do anything. It's just not true at all. I just like to call it that because you're completely motivated and you feel like there's nothing that's going to stop you from ranking up in this game. Well, nothing aside from everyone else going through the same exact phase as you. In case you haven't noticed yet, I'm talking about that feeling you get after watching RLCS. The pros are so good, and after watching you feel like, hey, that's not that hard, because most of them don't really do anything flashy, they just minimize their mistakes. How hard can minimizing your mistakes be? Turns out, pretty hard. But I knew I had to put this to the test. So today I'm teaming up with Dappur, Satthew, and Shock from Soniqs Esports, formerly known as Afterthought, and we're going to be taking on the Pittsburgh Knights in a best of 5 scrim. But the catch is, instead of this just being a normal scrim, I am going to replace one of the players from Soniqs each game. So you've got 5 pros in this scrim, and then me. So we're just going to see exactly how different is a normal GC from the pros. And then I'm going to strictly analyze what the main differences were from my gameplay and the pros at such a high level. Also, shout out to Soniqs Esports for doing this vid with me. It was a blast. Satthew, Shock, and Dappur are all great guys along with their manager, Mitz. I know for sure I'll be rooting for them in this next RLCS, and you should too. So without further ado, here's how the games went.
There you go.
He's on. Yeah, I got Redmond. I'll go again.
Yeah. I'll be back.
I'm mid.
Soft. Yep.
He's
up. Over.
Yep,
Try to get there. Nice. Again.
Yeah, I gotta go.
That's 50.
I got
Yeah,
you.
you.
That
That's
touch.
fine.
Close.
Not me.
I got. Yeah.
Full boost.
Soft.
Okay, I'm just gonna interject every time I see something to be noted, so this isn't just a boring raw gameplay video, and you can really learn something from this. So right off the bat, you can tell that the comms are way different than normal comms at GC level. As a Grand Champ, myself, along with most other GCs, tend to comm in a more conversational way, which is way less efficient. When I play, I find myself giving callouts saying things like, I'm gonna go for this, or I'll try and hit it to you, whereas the pros are way quicker about it. Just by listening for 10 seconds, you can tell that they're talking in super short, quick bursts of information, getting all the info out as quick as possible. So instead of, I'm gonna go for this, or I'll try and hit it to you, they'd say something like, I got, or I'll try to you. Even though it's not a complete sentence, it gets the same point across in a shorter amount of time. Relating to the comms, I noticed literally everything they say is necessary and important. They don't say a lot of good try or almost in the middle of the match unless it's during a replay. Look at this play for example. Satthew here lays me up a perfect pass mid and I completely bean the shot by putting it way up high. Instead of cluttering the comms with me saying my bad or my teammate saying you suck idiot, we just move on and continue trying to apply pressure. What's in the past is in the past, and saying sorry or my bad isn't going to help in any way. Have a listen.
Yep.
I'll be to your left.
Just got back.
Yep. You. Can't kill.
Close enough.
Try. Yeah, try to
Gonna
shoot.
keep it down.
Okay. I'm behind.
I got 0.
Pass. Yep.
I got
Back
bombs. Yeah, I'll go first.
I'll go early.
Now you. Yeah. I'll go
Ah,
try.
damn. So here's another thing. This goal getting scored on here was 100% my fault. And even though I said I'll go early, this was still a really late push from me, which is the main reason why we got scored on. I also had the chance to chat about my mistakes and what I could have done better with Moopy, who is the coach for the Knights, so I'll leave this point to him.
Basically, I think it was useless to flip because you're already, you're not really gaining speed. Even if you do gain speed, there's not a point. You want to be slowing down Gyro as much as possible because you see Shock right behind you there. If you're creeping in right now, it'd be really easy for you to get this challenge. Yeah, because right now you're just way too far out and there's nothing you can really do.
The last thing about game 1 was that I got demoed a total of 5 times in the first game alone, and I didn't get a single demo on them the entire series. This definitely relates to the Knights being a pretty demo-heavy team, as well as Ayyjayy just straight up targeting me at some points. Like, look at him go, he's such a villain, come on! So I asked the guys about it, and here's what Shock had to say. Oh, I got demoed like 6 times there. Is that them being demo chasing, or is it just me like not being aware of my surroundings?
It's probably, I mean, they're a demo heavy team, but you're also probably not staying fast enough in your rotation while you're back would be my guess. Maybe you're probably still
Okay.
on a few parts.
So yeah, it mostly relates to me playing and rotating a little too slow, which made it super easy for them to bump me on rotation. Also, don't pay attention to the scoreboard, please. Let's just not talk about that, okay?
I'm cheating.
Alright. Got it.
Nice. I got back low.
Ayyjayy there.
That's squad.
I'll go.
Yeah, you go. One there.
Nice, I should have it.
So, game 2 started off pretty rough. You're probably thinking, well, that didn't look that bad, and I mean, you're right considering I'm a low GC, but what makes this bad is the fact that I literally just uploaded a video a couple weeks ago on how to be a good teammate. And one of the tips in there is making your movements obvious to your teammates, which is basically the opposite of what I'm doing here. Something tells me I need to watch my own videos. Anyway, I also talked with Mitz, who's the manager for Soniqs, and this is what he said.
Honestly, Pro Rocket League is all about putting your teammates in a good situation. If you're putting your teammates in a bad situation, you're pretty much gonna get taken advantage of every time. Yeah, you can see Satthew drives up, sees you there, then gets confused. So like, he can make a pretty good challenge on this ball, but because he saw you there, it confused him.
So honestly, game 2 didn't really have much else that was too remarkable. We ended up losing it by 1 goal, which is pretty close, but there were no individual plays that I think are huge learning points. So for game 3, I actually uploaded the replay to this website that lets me see a bunch of stats for the game, and it was actually really interesting, particularly the boost category. Just by looking at the stats, you can tell that there's a guy that definitely doesn't belong there. So I picked up 100 less boost per minute than everyone else, which is already crazy, but just hold on. The craziest part is that I spent 92 seconds of the match with 0 boost. So for literally a minute and a half, I was just aimlessly wandering around the field trying to scavenge the scraps of the boost that was left. And that doesn't even count the time where I had less than 25 boost. If you count that, I actually spent 3 minutes and 14 seconds with 25 boost or less. That's well over half the match. Along with that, I by far had the least amount of time at supersonic speed, and because of that, the most amount of time at a slow speed. That is like the inarguable way to prove to someone they don't belong at a certain skill level. So, how did it feel? Well, it felt pretty much how it looked. I was struggling to find boost and in result playing slower and getting beat to most of my aerials. I just couldn't get any plays set up like I could at my own rank. Things were going so fast, and by the time I was about to jump for an aerial, it seemed like they were already about to hit the ball. It was also pretty tough because I didn't know what my teammates and opponents were capable of. Sometimes I'd just be straight up surprised by someone actually giving me a nutty pass. Oh my... Also, looking back through the replays made me realize how bad I actually was struggling, and it felt pretty bad as I was playing, but looking over it again just really brought out the truth. I think this mainly has to do with me trying to keep track of so many things at once and at an even faster pace, which ultimately led the quantity of my skills to go up, but the quality of them down. So I'd be able to go up for an aerial faster, but I may just miss it or not give it much power because of how much was going through my head. At such a fast game speed, it really just comes down to straight up brain power, and you can only build that brain power by practicing at that level for hours and hours. That's what makes these guys so good. They just think about every possible outcome and decision they can make way faster than an average player, and you don't really realize that until you try it out for yourself. After doing this experiment, I can tell you that I respect the pros even more than I did before. Not many players get the opportunity to play with the best in the world, so you'll just have to take my word for it that watching them play is one thing, but actually getting to play at their level just makes you realize how much you suck at Rocket League. Wait, that sounds familiar. And that's not even true, because guess what? Top of the leaderboard, baby! Let's go! Real quick, before the video ends, I just want to let you know that I've got some super exciting videos planned, and I can't tell you exactly what they are yet, but just be ready, because there's going to be some awesome content coming soon. Also, I made it my goal to hit 100k subs by the end of the year, so if you're still not subscribed, then it would mean everything to me if you would. And chances are I'm talking to you, because more than 85% of you watching this aren't subscribed. So seriously, hit the button. It literally just takes a second. You won't regret it, I promise. Anyway, I hope you have a great day and night, and I will see you later. Thanks!